Good start for us. Obviously, good start to the game. Marquette played zone, which was very effective last night against Seton Hall, and a good shooting Seton Hall team. And we just came out and made threes, consecutively early. I thought that set the tone for the game. If you're playing zone, then the team comes out and starts hitting threes like that, it makes it tough. And then they had to switch to man-to-man, and after playing last night, I don't think they wanted to be chasing us around man-to-man. So I think they were probably the two keys. The fact they played last night, and the fact that we hit threes early against the zone.
Questions, please? Raise your hand, please. Right here in front, Sean.
Jay, did last year's early exit is that anything you thought about in the first tournament?
We tried not to. We tried not to talk about it. We really try to focus on just, be here now. We were saying, be here now. Whatever's in front of us. But there's no doubt it's in the back of your mind. We didn't talk about it. But I just think the experience of that is a part of these guys now. So I think they came really, really focused and ready for anything.
One guy we don't really talk about, Chris Jenkins, but he comes in, they put up 15 or so, and the ability to have a guy like that who lets the game come to him and hits 3 straight threes like that. How's his attitude been with the minutes, and what kind of weapon is he?
He's an incredible weapon. As he's an outstanding three-point shooter, but more than that, he's really a smart player. He actually had 2 turnovers early in the game that were good passes, good plays, and we didn't execute them. I thought there was a play in the first half where he skipped it to Josh in the corner. That was a big play to kind of separate us. He does a lot of things for us, and he can be a really good rebounder. He had 4 defensive rebounds, but when he's hitting threes like that's really dangerous, and that's your 4-man doing that.
Up here on the right.
Can you talk about your three-point shooting? Say that you guys made 17 three-pointers.
We're a good shooting team, so when you have nights like that, you're going to win most games. But when you're a shooting team, there's going to be some nights where you don't make those shots, and you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to let them fly, and you got to be able to do other things when you're not making shots. So that's why I thought it was so important that we hit shots early against that zone. Early in the first half, we took a lot of threes. If we're missing those and they're getting out in transition, it's a different game. But so when you make them, it makes a big difference.
Over in the right, Eric.
Jay, can you talk about the 22 assists on 30 minutes?
Yeah, I mean we've done a good job of that all year. Our guys are very unselfish. Darren Hilliard's our leading scorer. We just talked to the team about that. Darren Hilliard starts the game off hitting 2 threes, and then we ran 6 more plays for him, and he got 6 assists in the first half on those plays. So a lot of times when a guy gets it going, then he feels like, oh, it's my night. When your senior does that, your leading scorer, I think that sets the tone for everybody.
In the middle, Sam.
Jay, it was 18-8, I think, and then 18-16, and right before 18-16, Josh comes in. I know this gets to be an old story for you after a while, but we started to worry. I mean, what was your emotions as it went from 18-8 to 18-16?
I think we called timeout at 18-16.
I think so, yeah.
I was worried, so if I called the timeout. You know what? We made some substitutions there that probably weren't. We had a bad mixture out there on the court for what they were doing, and we didn't get some rebounds. They got some offensive rebounds, some extra opportunities, and Josh brings so much to us, not just his shooting, but offensive rebounding, defensive energy, guarding Carlino, getting steals, in transition. He's an incredible scorer. He made, when it was tight, he made an incredible 1-on-3 drive to finish. So he's the perfect 6th man. Probably won't be a 6th man next year, but he's the perfect 6th man in that he can come in to fill any spot, any position, or any role, whatever you need at the time. You need shooting, you need defense, you need rebounding.
So,
In the back. I'm sorry.
Just a quick follow. So just to be funny about this, he makes 11 in a row, and out he comes.
Is that what he got now? 11 in a
I think it
row?
was 11 in a row.
He gets tired sometimes.
In the back, Joe.
Jay, what were you trying to do with Carlino, and how would you rate that as far as a defensive performance this season against the good score from the other
Yeah,
team?
that was definitely one of our best, Joe, and you've seen them all. You know, he's got the quickest release of anybody we've played against. Cotton was like that last year for Providence. You can't let them catch it, because if they catch it, they get it off before you can get to them, and they're great shooters. I just thought we did, especially the first half, we did a great job in the first half. In the second half, you notice the first 5 or 6 possessions, they got him looks like 4 straight times. They made very good adjustments. He made one, but it was only a 2. And then the others, one went in and out. I just thought we rushed them, and we kept enough people on them, and we switched out on them. So it was a really good execution by our guys.
On the left, John.
Jay, when you look at your coaching career, where does this team rank defensively, you know, out of all the teams you've had?
Not as good as I'd like it to be, really. Today was good, but we haven't been consistently this good defensively. We can be, and that's what we're trying to do here at the end of the season, is really be. This team is not one of our better defensive teams. It's really not. It's good, but we can be a lot better.
Coach, as you alluded to, Marquette did play last night. Does that help you in conserving your energy for the next 2 games?
Yeah, I think our depth helps us in this situation. When a team plays the night before and they get off to a great, I mean, I'm repeating myself, but when they get off to a good start, that adrenaline can keep you going, and then playing the night before doesn't affect you. But us coming out and hitting those threes early, getting some stops early, and kind of jumping on them, then you're fatigued. You got to chase. You know, it starts to wear on.
Toward the back corner.
Jay, as the weeks have rolled on here, as the wins have rolled on, how much time have you spent talking to the kids about not getting ahead of this thing and to keep it all in perspective and take it?
I think that's the best thing we've done so far, is that these guys have been able to stay focused on the next game. And that's always the challenge when you're winning. When you lose, it's easy to focus on the next game because you just can't wait. You know, I think when we lost to Georgetown this year, I think we had a week between our next game. We were dying. I mean, we just wanted to go play somebody. That's easy. It's when you keep winning that you got to stay focused on your scouting report. You got to stay focused on the details. And I think this team's done a very good job.
Right in the middle.
This is kind of a backward question, but you're used to those. Is this kind of game okay with you in that the things you do well, you were able to do today? And the Big East tournament is usually all about surviving when you're not doing the things that you do well. In other words, you're finding those secondary ways of getting it done. I mean, not that there wasn't adversity today, but
Right.
yeah.
I think it's a good way to start. You know, it's a good way to start. If you're coming off a game, you know, last year in the game against Seton Hall, we actually took the lead with about 8 seconds to go, and it was one of those games where you would have went back and said, look, guys, you know, we found a way, but we got to make improvements in all these areas. I like it better this way, you know, where we did a good job defensively. We can go back and look at and prepare for whoever we play. And, you know, guys are feeling good. They're making shots in this arena. They feel good about it. I like it that way.
Terry, no.
Josh, take us through that sequence where you did score those 11 straight points. What was going through your head and how you feel?
Just felt confidence. You know, Darren was finding me when I was open. Ryan found me. Chris found me. And then when those guys are just finding you when you're wide open, you know, after like the first couple, you just getting like, you know, a rhythm, get confidence. And my teammates just did a great job finding me. So I really wasn't thinking. I was just shooting.
All right, we're two more, right in the middle. Right there.
Coach, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, about one seed, and maybe having to win here to secure that. Is that something you care about or not care about?
Really don't care about. Winning the Big East tournament would be, now to me, I'm a little different this way, but to me it would be far more rewarding than getting a 1 seed. I just think that there's a lot more to that than getting a 1 seed, you know, and a 2 seed's good too. You know, we've been in both spots and had success in both spots, and I think we've had trouble in both spots too. So That really doesn't bother me. It does not affect our thinking at all. Winning the Big East tournament affects our thinking a lot.
Rich?
For both players, we asked the coach this, but what were your thoughts about last year and wiping that out? When you came in today, what were you thinking about last year?
I'm just trying to think about it. You know, obviously that happened. It's the past. You know, we can't take that back. We just knew we were going to have to come in, and with the, you know, with our captains and then the great group guys that we have in the locker room, we just went out, played as hard as we can, and we're going to let everything else, take care of itself. So we knew just not to focus on that and just focus on what's ahead of us.